today, as promised about forever ago, I said I'd do a room tour video, which this is. Yeah. If you don't want to listen to my crap, then if you just skip forward till me ugly mug disappears, you'll be on the actual room tour. But I just want to say a few words before I come on. First thing I want to say is, I think I've mentioned it a couple of times in my last couple of videos, but I do a lot of collecting videos. The collecting videos have stopped dead. There will be no more pickups. eBay is gone from my phone for definite, because I can't look at it anymore because it makes me sad. Yeah, I won't be collecting anything for the foreseeable future. We don't know what's around the corner. Personally, I'm out of work, as are many, and yeah, collecting all this stuff's just pointless. Yeah, I need to make sure I've got money for my family, and going on eBay and buying plastic crap just isn't a priority anymore. So, as with many other people, I've just reprioritise my life a lot, and just concentrate on what matters. Yeah, so I will have a lot of spare time. I will be putting videos out, but there won't be any pickups, there won't be any collections, there won't be any of that. It will be either drunken waffle, me sobbing, curled up in a ball, or gameplay videos. Yeah, and that's it. So if that's not your thing, I totally understand if you leave. You will be missed. I do treasure all my subscribers. I hate that word, subscribers. Yeah, you're not subscribers. Anybody who's regular on my channel's a friend. Yeah, that's what you are. Yeah. So I will miss you, but I totally understand if you decide to go your own way, or don't contribute anymore, because a lot of people are interested in watching me play crap games badly. Yeah, which is what my channel started off all about. Yeah. So I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to say that I understand, and yeah, and you'll be missed and all that crap. So going forward, it will just be gameplay videos, response videos. I'm going to do a response to Ronaldinho's. I actually said it right for once. It's because I'm sober, I think. It's a bit early yet. Yeah, Ronaldinho's last video, I'll be doing a response video to that. I'll be doing the arcade game videos for the Retro Technology Facebook groups, as long as it isn't one-on-one beat-em-ups, because I hate them. Yeah, and I'm just trying to get involved in stuff. I just won't be any pickups. I also wanted to say that as you go around the collection, there's a lot of stuff in here, a lot of stuff that I've got from friends, people I've met on the way. I honestly think I'd have got bored of this if it wasn't for the community. When I started collecting, when I started this collection in this room, I genuinely didn't know that all this was out there. I didn't know that there was Facebook groups. I didn't know. I thought I was doing something unusual. Yeah, I didn't know there was loads of people collecting. It was something I wanted to do for myself. And then as I joined Facebook groups and started talking to people on YouTube, I learned that there's an entire community out there of people doing the same thing. And the main thing I learned is that there's so many great people in this community, people that genuinely are interested in what you're doing, that do it themselves and want to help you along. You know who you are. I'm not going to mention people, because if I do, I'll leave somebody out, and that's not fair. So what I'm going to just say is, you all know who you are, the good people, and I'm glad that I did this, because I wouldn't have met any of you. I know I haven't met enough of you in person yet. It's something I'm really upset about, because I really wanted to start getting to the events this year, and I missed a couple due to work, and now due to the coronavirus, basically you can't meet anybody. Yeah, I finally got some time off for the first time in forever, and I don't want to be off. I don't think any of us want to be off, but that's the way of the world for the next... We don't know, do we? We don't know. So anyway, I'm going to finish now and just say I hope you enjoyed the room tour. Quickly, my collection is about stuff I want. There is the odd game that I wouldn't normally hunt, but it's just turned up in a charity shop and it was too good to go by, to be left behind. But yeah, I collect stuff I want. There's not much. I would say no. There's not much filler in here. Yeah, not many FIFAs. but I have collection goals, and when it's all full, when there's no gaps left in the shelf, I will just stop. I'm not one for putting stuff in boxes. My entire room, as I think I mentioned in about a minute's time when you're looking around the room, is about playing. I like to play games. The friends I've met on the way, that side of the camera and out and about, it's just been a bonus for me. Yeah. So anyway, I hope you enjoy the room tour, and I hope that you're all safe. Stay safe and look after your family and friends. And that's the main thing. Yeah. I think that's the main thing we've got to get about out of all this. Be a bit more friendly, but at a distance. Yeah. Anyway, I'm off now. I'll see you in a second, but I'll be on the other side of the camera. Yeah. Bye. So here we are in the games room, doing the games room tour as promised. Yeah, you've listened to the waffly bit or skipped it. I'd have skipped it, to be honest. Did I cry? Yeah, I usually do when I get emotional. Anyway, here we are. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the consoles first, and then we'll look at the games collection once we've finished. So here's my main area. As you can see, 5 displays. Tate display at the top left and off the ceiling. Then we have my little portable, my Vectrix, my main display, and right at the end here we have a screen I use for the Fugly N64 and the BBC. Yeah, that's all that's on that display at the right. The idea with my collection was I wanted to be able to just come down here and turn on any individual console I fancied and play on it instantly. I didn't want to have to mess about pulling things out of boxes and connecting them and finding wires, and you just, none of us have that much spare time, or we didn't. We've all got loads now, most of us anyway. Yeah, but up to yesterday I didn't have much spare time, and so I didn't want to have to spend ages winding something up. I just wanted to just come down here with a beer or two and just turn stuff on and then just play on them. So that's how this room works most of the time. Yeah. So anyway, let's have a look at what we've got. So over here we've got the Tate display. I love a bit of Tate. Hung from there, slowly strangling to death, is Dizzy. I ate that egg. I wish people would stop sending me stuff to do with Dizzy. Yeah. Even Christian's wife's at it now. Yeah. Down here we have a speaker. All my systems, barring a couple, run through a Pioneer amp. So we have the big speaker, and buried under that pile of stuff is a Yamaha sub. Yeah, we all have a pile of stuff, don't we? Yeah, stuff I need to find a home for. Above the sub is the PlayStation 2, which is connected to the Tate display. And then above that is Master System 2, which is connected to this little telly here. I've had this since I was about 6 or 7. It's the only proper tube telly in this place. Well, I suppose the Vectrix is, in a way, but we're looking at this now. So this is connected to the Master System. As I said, we've had this since forever, and what I like about this is when you laid down in bed back in the day when I was watching A-Team, I could turn the display so it was the right way up. Yeah, pretty cool, because the entire tube's turning inside. Yeah, very clever little thing. And it's nice to have a few pieces in here from my childhood. There aren't that many. Next to that's the Vectrix I got from Lee from Sore Thumbs in York. There's a lot of stuff in this room that I've bought from Lee over the years. Great shop if you're ever out that way. Obviously not at the minute because it's shut, as is everything else. Yeah, grim times. I don't collect carts for the Vectrix. I just have the multi-cart thing plugged in the side there. You can install that in a Vectrix cart case, but I've just never got round to it. And it's just got all the games on. Yeah, nice little bit of kit. Next to that we have the N64 Mini, the brown one.
Yeah, Brian Dickinson sent me that a few weeks back. Very grateful, mate. Still not spent much time on it, but spare time's been a premium of the last few months. Got a lot more now. And then over here we have the main display that most of the systems are connected to. And then over here we have the secondary display that the N64 and, as I said, the BBC are connected to. The N64 for some reason just hates my main telly, so I ended up putting a separate display for it. And because the BBC was sat there, it was just easier just to connect it straight to that telly. A lot of love for the BBC. I love the sound of the keys. I remember at primary school we had to do tombolas and bring and buys to save up to pay for the BBC for the school. A long time ago. I've skipped this, and I shouldn't have done. This was a very generous donation from Steve Foden. I hope I've got that right, mate. It's an American SNES, and above it is Wildcard, that's it, the Wildcard. It's a really ace bit of kit. I had one of these as a kid. You can plug cartridges in the top, and if I remember rightly, please in the comment section do tell me, if I wanted to play a game that had a chip in it off a disc, I had to put a chip cart in the top, because the Wildcard used the chip, I think. Yeah, so basically what this is, it's just a system that allows you to play copied SNES games. Yeah, just a brilliant piece of kit. Really easy to use, and just looks cool. Not something you see much about these days. I had one back in the day. It ended up as landfill, I'm sure, unfortunately. But yeah, Steve sent me this, and as you can see, Steve, it's looked after and loved. Thanks, mate. Yeah. What else we got? We've got a Halo statue thingy that I got from Game for about pence, because it was their Black Friday thing a few years back. We have a lovely piece of artwork that Benny Williams sent me years back. It's Metroid, as you can see. I have never played a Metroid game ever. It's another thing I keep meaning to do. My other speaker. And then over here is my Formula 1 collection. Well, most of it. Very nice Mansell Ferrari. Johnny Dumfries, I think. Senna Lotus. Lewis Hamilton. Special edition McLaren. With a range setup. And then there's my Jensen Button collection. Huge fan of Jensen Button, as you'll see as we go around the room. Very nice Jordan Damon Hill. And then there's a couple of Jags and a couple of McLarens. David Coulthard and I can't remember. I can't remember. Yeah, so there's the Formula 1 selection. Now let's have a look at the actual consoles. I think that's next. Yeah, let's go next. So we'll go over to the left. Over here in this section we have my Sega Saturn, my NES, a Mega Drive, but it has the Master System converter in, and that's what I use it for. I just use that Mega Drive for Master System games. Next to that's Panasonic 3DO, which I don't spend anywhere near enough time on. I think it's been turned on once since I wired it up. And next to that we have the PlayStation 1, but it's the Mark II, is it, or Mark III, the little one. I did originally have the bigger version in, but it just didn't quite fit when I got the Panasonic 3DO, so I had to go to the little PS1. I know the sound isn't as good, but I just didn't have enough space. And they all go through that Banbridge SCART selector, so that means as soon as the SCART lead is senses power, as soon as the machine's powered up, it automatically sends the correct one up to the big telly, so I've got no faffing about. Yeah, so that's the first section. Into the second section, the middle section, we have a PlayStation 3, a Wii, an Xbox 360, a PS2, a NES and SNES Mini. They're great little consoles. I hope to eventually have a Mega Drive and PC Engine, but we'll have to see how things go. they're a great way of getting into new systems. You know, I've played more on the NES since buying the NES Mini than I ever did when I just had a NES. You know, yeah, great little systems. Next, that's the original Crystal Xbox, one of my favourite consoles. Huge selection of amazing games that are really cheap. It's a real brilliant way of getting into retro gaming, in my opinion. Then there's my Pioneer amp, which everything runs through, so I can have the really nice soundtrack to the games. And that's the main thing that I've discovered since going back to collecting. When I had a PlayStation back in the day, it was on a little mono telly. Now you hear them the way the creators wanted you to hear them, in stereo with a thumping soundtrack, you know, for the sub, and the games just sound awesome. Below that's Pioneer CD player, my graphic equalizer, and my much loved and not played on enough Amiga CD32 that the brilliant guys in the Retro Tech 100 Facebook group all clubbed together and helped me purchase. Yeah, very grateful. Over here we have a Super Nintendo, the N64, which I only ever have on just because it annoys Chris, because it's always in the wrong format and I never play on it. Yeah, so that's just for you, Chris. Yeah. Next to that's my very yellow Dreamcast. It's one of only 2 machines in here that I've had from new. That's the Dreamcast and the PSP. Everything else I've replaced over the years. Below that is the GameCube, which is faulty at the minute. I can't work out if I've got a bad lead or the GameCube itself's gone funny. It like hisses on the sound. Sounds like everyone's... it's hard to explain. Anyway, it's not right, but I've yet to discover what's wrong. Yeah, I'll get to that eventually. And then there is my Mega Drive and Mega CD. Awesome console. Not one I had back in the day, but I'm really enjoying discovering games for the first time. The Mega CD did not work when I got it, but my good friend Mark from Mark Fixes Stuff, he offered to fix it for me, and he did. It works perfectly now, and has done for the last year. Yeah, I love the old Mega CD games. A lot of very cheesy FMV, but they just make you laugh, don't they? It's great fun. So they also all go through the Banbridge SCART selector things and up to the telly. Just easy, you know, messing about. And then we also have 3 drawers. The 2 lower drawers are just full of, well, I'll show you. They're just full of controllers. Like that, look. They're all controllers for these consoles. And then over here, they're all controllers for these consoles and these. Yeah, shut that. And then in the middle, we have got the mighty Amiga and the Spectrum Plus 2. Might seem weird to keep them in a drawer, but I just find it easier to keep them in here, out of the way. They don't get dusty, they don't get mucky. This one's been upgraded to a full mighty 4 meg of RAM. As you can see, the 2 popping out this side there. There's another 1 underneath, and it comes with 1 as standard. Is that right, or is it 2? I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, I don't really collect much for the Amiga. I have the WHD load drive built in inside, so even though it's a standard machine, it plays games without discs, if that makes sense. Probably not. And then there's my Specky at the side, which I just love playing on the Specky. Yeah, shut that. So that's my main gaming area, where I spend my time. At the side of the tape display, I don't think I mentioned, if I did I'm saying it twice, is my Millennium Falcon. It's an original Kenner. As you can see, it's a bit yellow, but I like the aged look, and I don't want to mess cleaning it up. I'd rather it just stay original. This is It's a vinyl 3D box thingy. Rob Hewitt sent me this for completing the game. He said I deserve something for managing to finish Heart of Darkness. For those who haven't played it, it's bloody hard, and I'm not a very good games player. It's proper old school, a bit like Flashback, that sort of thing, but really worth a play if you've not played it. Let's spin around. Here we have a blind my wife had made for me. It's a vinyl blind of the original Space Invaders. Obviously it's down, we don't have sun in here. No sun, it's just about as bright as it ever gets. And then right here we have where I park my bum, my sofa. As you can see, there's plenty of room for visitors, though not that I very often get any, because you can see there's only one crease, one sad little lonely crease just for me. Yeah. And that's my main area. Where should we go next? I think we'll go to the display cabinet. As with most collectors, when you've got a lot of games, you tend to just put them end on, so you just get to see the spines. So I wanted an area where I could show some of the artwork, because for me, especially with the 8-bit stuff, it's not just about the game, it's a package, isn't it? Because they were trying to sell you a game with the artwork that they hadn't really created. They were trying to excite you with a picture, because sometimes the games weren't that good, or you had to use a lot of imagination. So anyway, I wanted a display cabinet to show some of this artwork, to show off some of my favourite bits. So we start from the top. We've got a Spectrum QL, a couple of joysticks, a couple of big box games, and then here is some of my favourite artwork by Bob Wakeling. He did Ocean covers for Amiga, Spectrum, Commodore 64, maybe a couple of others. These are all Spectrum games and Amiga. At the back there you can see Elf, which Paul Badd sent me last year, maybe year before. And then some of these have come from Andre, some have come from Daryl, some have come from my friend Christian. But I just love the artwork. Do they look awesome? Again on the shelf below, more Bob Wakeling artwork, including right in the corner there, one of my favourite Spucky games. I don't have the double size Target Renegades yet. I'll hopefully pick one up later in the year. Oh, then below that is my 2000 AD collection. Huge fan of 2000 AD back in the day. So Judge Dredd, Rogue Trooper, Nemesis the Warlock there, and Slain. The reason I've put loaded in there is because the artwork for the covers and all the characters was also done by the 2000 AD creators, so I thought they belonged there. Or they do in my collection anyway. Over here we've got a couple of handhelds, an original Game Boy, the SNES converter, and the Neo Geo Pocket, which Steve Foden also gave me. I still haven't got round to even powering it up. In fact, I don't even own a game for it. I must try and correct that in the near future. What else we got? We got my Specky collection. Here we have a Plus 48K, which is the very first computer I ever had on the right. A lot of love for it. Them keys are just, there's nothing like it. At the side of that we've got ZX81 and a couple of rubber keys, and an original Specky TV which still works when it's plugged in. Obviously you're not getting a signal on it now. You just get a blank screen. Yeah, sad really. And then my spare Spectrum Plus 2s. Never have enough spares. Some joysticks. I never get round to use them. I'm not much of a joystick fan on the Spectrum. I use them on the Amiga. That one with the blue buttons is for the Amiga. But down's not working for some reason. I need to sort that out. And then right at the bottom we have a SNES arcade stick and a pair of bongos, just in case I feel like I need to play bongos. PS1 pad, which is actually a really good pad. Steering wheel, sorry. Box Sinclair QL. And that's it for the display area. Yeah, I think you've got to have somewhere to display stuff, haven't you? Where should we go next? We'll go over here. So for those who haven't seen this, this is an arcade machine. I've been building since, well, last September. Yeah, I never do anything very quickly. If you want to see the full build video, it's in my comments thingy. Yeah, not in my comments thingy, sorry, it's in my channel. It was originally a wardrobe, and then I've turned it into a full 2-player arcade machine. It is great fun. As you can see, it's running coin-ops at the minute. Got all the controls, buttons. It's actually running off my wife's laptop because I am useless at working things out and I can't get it to work on the PC. Although my good friend Rob, who I mentioned earlier, has just messaged me and told me my PC that he's built me is in the post. So hopefully in a few days it'll look pretty much the same, but the wife won't be moaning because she can't use a laptop. Yeah, so that's that anyway. And like I said, if you want to see the full build video, just go to my library and the video's in there. Where should we go next? We'll go over here. This is my 3-screen arcade race setup. So as you can see, it's got a proper car seat, Xbox 360 steering wheel, which is a great steering wheel, really is. And then it's connected to 3 screens. For those who haven't seen this setup before, again, if you go into my library, there's a setup, a video going through it in more detail. You don't want to hear me waffle for ages about it. As you can see, it actually runs off of 3 Xbox 360s. You need 3 Xboxes, 1 for each screen, and 3 copies of the game. Yeah, it is great fun. It is great fun. You can actually run a 4th Xbox and a 4th screen and have a rear view mirror, but I can't decide if that's overkill or not. In the comment section, you let me know. Yeah, you let me know. What else we got? Here we've got spares. You could never have too many spares, in my opinion. Spare consoles, Xboxes, PlayStations, N64s. Well, you can see what they are. And then in there's just wires and controllers and just extra bits and bobs that I might need. Over here we have a signed Jensen Button cap. I promise you I aren't stalking him. My mask truck that again I got from Lee from Sore Fubs. He gave me that a couple of years ago. It's not complete yet. I still need a few bits that I haven't got round to collecting. There's a sound bar for the setup for the steering wheel and a lightsaber. What else we got? Oh, this is a bottle of Stella. Lee Ashton sent me 6 bottles for winning the YouTuber of the Month last year. I drunk the others, but I want to keep this. I like to keep mementos of all the stuff that people have so generously donated me because it means so much. So that's staying there forever. Although after the week I've had, after the week we've all had, I am very tempted to open it. Yeah. What else we got? We've got a signed Jensen Button poster picture. Here we have Chris. Chris watches the room and makes sure nobody comes in here that isn't allowed when I'm not here. And then we'll go along the shelves now. So here we have MIDI box and big box Amiga games. Platoon there is the only +3 game I own. I don't collect for them at all. It just came in a bundle, and it's just stayed here. Yeah, because nothing ever leaves. Well, big box Amiga games, original PS1 box, and then over here we have board games. Space Crusade is absolutely epic. Ignore the leak, by the way. It's fixed now, but it's stained. I need to decorate. Yeah, we had a leak last week. Not happy. Where was I? Yeah, Space Crusade, utterly epic. There was a sister game, which was more swords and sorcery, called Hero Quest, which I still would like to own. Unfortunately, it costs £1 billion. I haven't got one yet. Atlantis, Elixir, which is it's a bit like Cluedo, but with swords and sorcery and wizards. Yeah, not very common, that one. Nice game though. Ulysses 31, which is a game. It's not a game. It's a cartoon series from my childhood, which I found in a charity shop last year before. And then we've got some Monopolies, some more steering wheels, light guns, Xbox games. Xbox One Special Edition. I have never played Gears of War, ever. Master System 2, which I got from my friend Mark. In fact, it was the first thing I bought off Mark. And it's weird because I found the Master System on Facebook and went and bought it off him. And since then we've become good friends. And he regularly manages to take my money away from me. Sell me stuff. Yeah. Stuff, more stuff. Lilac Wars. Lilac Wars is not as good as Starwing in my opinion. I was a bit disappointed. Starwing on the SNES is awesome. 48k Specky again, boxed one. Mega CD box. Wireless remote controls for the Mega Drive that's never been opened. And then a Menacer and a Super Scope 6 boxed also. What else? Let's have a look at the games. We'll have a look around the shelves, yeah. I'm not going to go into detail about any particular games. If there's anything you see that you'd like to see more of, just do put in the comment section. So at the top here we've got PS1. A huge fan of the PS1. It's a brilliant system. I think there's maybe about 30 games, 36 games I would still like to own for the PS1. And then as far as I'm concerned, I'm done. As I've mentioned loads and loads of times, I'm not a full system collector. So I have a vague idea of what I'd like. And once that's done, I'm done. I finished Dreamcast last year. There's only 101 in my collection. 101, sorry. But as far as I'm concerned, that's the only games I want, so I collect more. You know, there's only so much room down here. The PS1, when it gets to the end of the wall there, that's it. I can't see the point in buying games and then chucking them out to have more games. Below the PS1 is my Specky collection. Where it all started for me. Again, a lot of these have been donated by friends. You all know who you are. I am, as I've said before, so very grateful. There's so many great games here. So many personal favourites like Cyclone. Not the Dizzy games though, I hate them. And then here we come to my Hit Squad collection. I would never have got anywhere with this without the generous contributions to my collection. So many people have sent me games, mentioned they've got games, passed me games on for a decent price. I'm 9 off a full set. I don't think I'll get a full set now. To be honest, collecting's totally stalled. Well, for everybody really. I don't think there's going to be many collection videos in the near future. In fact, I've took eBay off my phone because it's just making me sad. Yeah, that's the Hit Squad collection. As I said, 9 off a full set. It's just, they just look ace, don't they? They just look ace. What's next? Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo. I do not collect boxed Super Nintendo anymore. I used to do, and then I just gave up because the cardboard, it just makes me sad paying a lot of money for a box that's tired. I know you can get mint, but it's just a ridiculous amount of money. And I don't, if I just collected Super Nintendo, I could do that, but I don't. I collect for everything, so I can't. So what I do is, my friend Benny Williams came up with this idea, I think, and it's brilliant. So I put them in VHS boxes, and they just look ace. A lot of these do have instructions, because they were originally box games. I kept the instructions, sold the cardboard on, people bought it, I bought more games. Everybody's a winner. But I like these because at the end of the day, if I drop it on the floor, it's a £2 VHS case, and I just buy another one. Whereas if I drop a boxed Super Nintendo game on the floor, I cry. There's my original PSP, had since new. Great system, great system. And then we go on to the N64 collection. I honestly do not know why I keep buying these games. I never play them, I do not like them, and yet when I see one, I pick it up. I think the only game I've played is Zelda, Ocarina of Time, which I did finish, played start to finish, really enjoyed it, but it's still fugly. It's still very brown and blocky. Yeah, I don't know if any of them are worth playing in your opinion. As ever, just put in the comment section. This is what this is all about. This is about generating comments, generating a discussion. This is my NES collection. It's not a very big one. It's not a system I can really collect for. I think the only one I've played, are the Mario Brothers games. Here's my boxed Game Gear. Again, this came from Mark. It's been recapped and fill it full of batteries, and you get 12 seconds of awesome retro fun. Yeah, it doesn't last long. These are the games I have for the system. You're not going to be able to see in there. They go a long way back. I think there's maybe 50 or 60. I don't actively collect for the system, but if I see them, I take them. Over here is my big boxed, no they're not, the middle boxed specky games for the most part, although the Batmans are all they're all Amiga games. Yeah, I love these boxes. Is that an Amiga one? That's a specky one. That's an Amiga one. Yeah, I have issues with Batman. I bought several copies, couldn't get it to load, and eventually managed to get a loading one after a lot of hassle. Yeah, it was a game I really wanted to play and just couldn't find working. I got one eventually. Here is my homebrew selection of ZX Spectrum games. These all come from George Cropper. There are some amazing games in here. Ooze, Castlevania. Well, they're all good games. They're all good games. If you fancy trying some homebrew, I cannot... what's the word? Something. Yeah, you need to have a look at his website anyway. It's there. Look, I know it looks a bit odd, Bum Fun Gaming, but there's reason for it. It's just a joke. It's just a kiddie's joke. But he's got an amazing collection for sale of old games redone and new games, and yeah, they're just great, and I love to collect them when I've got some spare pennies. Next to that is the Sega Saturn collection. There's nothing special in here. It's not a huge collection. It's not a system I actively chase. For me, the PS1 always meant more. I think really I'm just going to get games that are just PS1 only. Yeah, I think the only ones I really enjoyed on this system are Panzer Dragoon. Yeah, all the others, I preferred them on the PS1. Yeah. What's next? The next is the original Xbox. Huge fan of the original Xbox. Yeah, so many classic games. Beyond Good and Evil. You know, the Buffy games, brilliant. Crash and Burn, Crimson Skies. I could just list them all. Yeah, it's pointless. You can see them, they're in front of you. But if you've not played on the original Xbox, it's an ace system to collect for, because the games are cheap. There's loads out there in places like CEX, and they're just great fun. Yeah. Serious Sam, one of the maddest first-person shooters out there. You know, just a great system to collect for. Xbox 360 next. Again, another brilliant system. I moved to Xbox and stayed there. I never really played on the PlayStation 2, 3, certainly not the PS4. But yeah, Xbox, so many good games. BioShock, Alan Wake, Metro. Yeah, brilliant system. Over here we have a selection of stuff. It's just a little collection. How to describe it? Obviously you can see a lot of Dizzy games in there, which is odd for somebody who hates the game so much. But this little shelf, double shelf, is stuff that I felt had to stay out, had to stay on display. It's been sent to me by friends. There's Batty there, sent by Rod Bell. The Sentinel, which was Baz Harding's original copy. Arabian Nights, Kieran sent me that. Fantasy World Disney, Andre sent me. Gamer Sai sent me the Dizzy collection and the little zombie monster thing. You know, this Daryl sent me Jailbreak there. You know, I'm so grateful for when people send me anything. I just feel you can't just put everything end on a shelf, because then it just becomes another game in the collection. I wanted to keep some out just to remind me of how lucky I am. It's watching me look. Bloody egg. I ate that egg. What's next? Next is the Master System. I love the Master System boxes. I never had a Master System back in the day. A lot of these are new to me. I really need to play through some of these. Donald Duck, I played on the handheld. That's a great game. But a lot of these I've never played. I played Renegade last week and really enjoyed it. I was very surprised. I'm not a fan of Sonic, as I've probably mentioned. Although I enjoy it more on the Master System. It's slower on the Master System and it's more fun, I think. PS1 mouse I got from my good friend Alex. GameCube. Not a system I play much on. It's something I need to correct, really. Metroid games, obviously I've never played. Pikmin I have played. That is brilliant. Skies of Arcadia is one of my all-time favourite games ever, but I've not played it on the GameCube. I've played it on the Dreamcast. Then over here with my PS3 collection. As I said, not a system I've played on much. I think the only games I've played on here really are Last of Us, which I played start to finish. It was utterly incredible. And Uncharted, because Andre made me play it, and I really enjoyed it. I played it all the way through. It's basically Tomb Raider without boobs, but it's good fun, just no boobs. At the end here we have 3 of the Beyond games. I think there's about 9 in the set. Beautiful artwork. Yeah, look brilliant. What we got next? PS2 next. I have a fair amount of PS2, but to be honest, anybody who collects has billions of PS2 because there were billions of games. About the only game I've played on the PS2, really, is Shadow of the Colossus, which I played start to finish last year. Utterly stunning game. All these others, I've played them if they were on the Xbox, or I've not played them at all. I think there's 3 or 4 that are still sealed. I know, terrible. Sealed games, terrible. And then there's my 1 copy of Batman that works. Some clamshells and other bits and bobs for the specky. And where are we going now? Mega Drive. I haven't got a huge collection of Mega Drive games. I never had a Mega Drive, so all these games pretty much, apart from the odd one that's an Amiga port or came out on the SNES, are totally new to me. And I must say, I'm absolutely loving the Mega Drive. There's just so many great games that I've not played before. Yeah, I really do need to have a Mega Drive night and just Streets of Rage. Never played it before, a few months back. Absolutely brilliant. So that's the Mega Drive collection. And then below that we have Dreamcast. Dreamcast for me is done. I have 101 games. I know there's a lot more than that, but as far as I'm concerned, once I've decided I'm finished collecting for a system, once I've decided I've got the games I want, then that's it. I don't look back. So 101 titles, and I'm done with the Dreamcast. But there's so many great games here. After that's they're all old PC games. Day of the Tentacle. Over here we have my small collection of Amiga CD32 games. I don't have many, but there's some great titles in there. Chaos Engine, Simon the Sorcerer, which is one of my favourite games of all time. And then over here we have Mega CD. And then finally, Panasonic 3DO. So that's it. That's the full room. You've had a look at everything. Absolutely everything. I hope you've enjoyed looking around my collection. As I said, if there's anything you'd like to see in more detail, if there's anything you'd like to discuss, just put it in the comments section. That's what these videos are all about, generating conversation, as Baz Harding says. Yeah, before I go, I'd just like to say I hope you all stay safe. Grim times out there right now, and we all need to just band together and just be a bit less selfish and a bit more selfless and think about the greater good. You know, whether you're a key worker or whether you're just doing your bit by staying away from people and self-isolating, all these things are so important. Yeah, so you all take care out there, stay safe, and as I always say, catch you later. Bye bye.